Welcome, viewers, to yet another episode of The Rumble. And like always, I try to bring in as many people who are involved in the entertainment business because that's what seems to grab everybody's attention. So, have you guys ever wondered why there are no music stores anywhere, at least not in Chennai? In the old days, they used to be there on every street corner, the ubiquitous cassette shop. Everyone used to go visit them, buy original copies, pirated copies, transfer, special transfers which the pirate will do for you. But all of them have disappeared. In a way, it's sad that even the pirates have gone because you can't get what you want anymore. You have to go on the net and do all kinds of strange things. So my guest today is Mr. Ghanshyam Hemdev. He's one of the pioneers in the business, at least in South India. He used to run a company called Pyramid Audio. I say used to because I know it still exists, but you know the whole scale of business has come down so dramatically. We're not even sure whether the music industry is alive, dead, or just about breathing. So let me get straight into the heart of the matter. Welcome, Ghanshyam.
Thank you, Madhav, for having me.
So as a start into the subject, let me have your opinion of where do you think we are right now? When I say we, the music industry in South India, where are we? Alive, kicking, or over?
The music industry is still kicking, live, booming, no problem on that front. The problem comes, as a company earlier, we used to be the people monetizing the revenue streams.
Okay.
Unfortunately, today's technology has taken the monetizing part out of our hands. Maybe I got the music, maybe I bought the music, maybe I created the music. But the monetizing part goes to different people. Some telecom operator offers it as a ringtone, CRBT.
Yeah.
Some radio station plays it.
Yes.
Some YouTube gives it as a free.
So can you say that the music company now is the phone company?
Exactly. They are the ones who are monetizing it.
All right.
The role we play is now nothing.
No, the music company in the old days used to own the copyrights to the music.
As well as monetize it.
And sell it, sell it for money. Even today, not to say that you're not making money.
I may license it,
the phone
but I have no control.
The phone companies are paying you as and when it is bought and used. And in a way, they've expanded the reach also because you don't have to walk on the streets, you don't have to take shoddy products which may get stuck in your cassette player or skip on your CD player. Now all that's out of the business because you're on music being downloaded on your phone or even into your computer. So in a way, they've improved the delivery system, but the bulk of the profits have now gone into somebody who has never invested in the business. That's probably where it really gets you.
A major portion is shared with them. In fact, we get a minuscule amount. And the creation or the purchasing or the investment in the content is not the telecom company, but it is companies like us. And we get a minuscule share of it, and we have no share in the promotion or in the old days. The audio companies, the labels used to promote and create talent. You remember in Magna Sound, there were scores of talent that were created.
True.
They were, if you see talent, there was always talent, always in India. But the labels created the talent, put them on the forefront, made them sellable names.
Yeah.
Today we have no such role to play, if at all.
Well, I guess you could still do that, but the conventional way of making money out of them seems to have slipped out of our hands. But the function of identifying an artist, creating them, promoting them, honing them, sharpening their skills, all that still continues for a music label. You can still do it with or without a phone company.
Yes, you got a point there. We can still do it. But even after we still do it, major of the profits, major of our income gets shared.
Okay.
So we do not get the entire pie. Today there's a lot of sharing to do.
In the old days, we used to have the sharing used to work between the producer of the music, or let's say the owner of the music, whoever it was, who sold it to you as a music label, and you sold it into the trade via
our set of
businesses
network.
And dealers. Yeah. So a good 30% used to go to them.
Yes.
Let's say 30%, 20% will go for production cost.
Yes.
That's 50%. And the 50% used to come to you.
Yes.
Now the phone companies themselves are taking about 70% from what I understand.
Yes.
And then there is also the VAS operator, which is the value-added service guys in between, who take another slice out of it, leaving you with the last little bit.
I lost little bit, and we still really don't know the figures, what the actual figures are. What is given to us, we accept it as the
Well,
gospel
that
truth.
was true in the old days too. I mean, you had a dealer selling your original product,
Yeah,
and
we
along
had-
with it,
we
you
had a
used to
share of the problems
Yeah.
those days
I
too,
still
yeah.
remember an amazing incident where a friend of mine was telling me that he went to a store in Fountain in Bombay, and he asked them for a particular tape, some artist tape. And this, and finally it was there on the shelf. So he told me, "Now there it is, right behind your head. Just give it to me." But that man says, "No, sir, don't take that one. That is a original from the company. It's all bad quality stuff. Take this." And he leans down and he brings a recording, what he has done of that recording, onto a TDK tape. You should remember the TDKs of those days.
was considered better quality.
Absolutely, best quality tape, high frequency response, vagara, vagara. So they were selling their pirated stuff on the side along with the original. So those days also we really had no control over
We lived with
sales.
it.
Yeah,
We lived with
yeah.
it.
So I
Lived
guess
with
this has democratized music in a way, because it's like made it reach every corner of the country, which
Yes.
formerly we couldn't reach. So there are some advantages in this business of delivery through the phones as
Yes.
opposed to the old days of stock.
But still, we have one more problem. There is no system like earlier when the monetizing was in our hands. We had some kind of control over the figures. Right now, the figures are all out of our hands. If at all, the telecom company promotes or pushes or makes combos out of it, a particular song can sell. Until and unless it's a famous personality who's doing it, A.R. Rahman or Rajnikant, who by themselves make things
Or
happen.
Dhanush for that matter.
Dhanush Novelis for that matter. Earlier, we could, by creating a little more advertisement, creating a little bit more availability of our products, we could have some kind of control over the figures. Right now, if at all the telecom company feels that in its top 10 are already big names there, they need not push our product. It'll just lie at the bottom. If at all somebody rarely goes to the bottom of the list, finds it, asks for it, gets it, then it's our luck.
Yeah. So, folks, we just got into the business of selling music. We'll have far more grouses coming out as we go along. But for the moment, we'll just take a break and come back with part 2 of the same interview with Mr. Ghanshyam.